we've got right now, it is a narrative game. It is taking place on planet Thanatos in the Strife system. Thanatos is a very dark and desolate planet. It's full of despair and misery. Why? Because the entire imperial settlement that was previously residing here has disappeared. No trace. Nothing but fire and brimstone. There's no signs of life on this planet. And as the Tau Empire, they explored the Strife system a little bit more than what they'd previously done. They came upon these ruins. Now, the Pathfinder team, while scouring the buildings, accidentally triggered a beacon, a distress signal, if you will. And that distress signal caught the attention of a retinue of Void Lions, accompanied by an Imperial Knight. Now, they meet in battle in the city on Thanatos. However, we still do not know why the citizens of Thanatos are missing. Perhaps the outcome of this battle will lead to some revelation. My name's Chris. I'll be playing against General today. I am playing Tau Empire, and for our narrative playlist, we do have matched in terms of how many points we've got. It's 1,000 points apiece each army. On my end, I've got 2 Storm Surges. They are stock as they come. Everything is basic on this list. I've got 1 unit of Pathfinders over here. I've got Dark Strider, Commander Shadow Sun with her advanced Guardian drone, and her the MV62 Command Link drone. Strike team over here, and that's my 1,000 point list.
Hey guys, my name is General, and today I brought with me for our 1,000 point game, I brought a Predator Annihilator. I bought a Razorback with twin last cannons and Stormbolter, and then I brought a Tech Marine. Ignore the weapon that he has. He just has a bolt pistol and a Omniscient axe. And then as a Lord of War, I brought a Knight Valiant with its basic loadout, the conflagration cannon, and the harpoon and everything like that. So, 1,000 point, it's open play, it's very narrative driven, but within the 1,000 point range. So.
Okay, so for my army, I didn't really explain a few things. So for the Space Marines, the chapter rules I'm going to be using are Iron Hands chapter rules. The HQ is going to be the Tech Marine, and I'm going to use the Iron Hands Tech Marine, or Iron Hands HQ rule. For the Knight, I'm going to be using House Vulcar rules, just because they allow the Knight to be a little bit more durable and have a little bit extra firepower.
Okay.
Cool.
The objective for the game, if the Void Lions can hold that distress beacon by turn 5, the Void Lions win. The objective for the Tau Empire is simply to make sure no one is next to that beacon for reinforcements. Who will win? We'll find out. So my Storm Surge that's stomping on the Blood Angels Rhino moved forward 6 inches. I've got my strike team holding down this building. This Storm Surge is just going to stay put. Commander Shadow Sun is hiding behind the building, and on the other side of that same building we've got a Pathfinder team that's hiding out, waiting to shoot their marker lights at the opponent.
So my force has counter deployed, and we are. So the Knight Valiant is behind this building. He's within the cover, and then the Razorback and the Predator are next to each other behind this, and yeah, that's how we've deployed. All right, movement turn one. All right, so my movement phase, I basically kept the Knight in the cover over here. I took out the Tech Marine from the Razorback, and then I moved both of the tanks up, forward, and this is where they are now. So, my Razorback and my Predator moved up, and they fired all their last cannons into this Storm Surge over here. It dealt 5 wounds to this model, and then the Storm Bolter on the Razorback fired at this team of Tau in the building here, and no wounds went through.
Okay, so both of my storm surges came out from behind the buildings. That means that they're open to fire. My strike team has also exited the building, and still within the building I have Dark Strider, who is giving the strike team directions to fire at the tanks. My Pathfinder team has also run over to the side. They're about to fire their marker lights into the tanks, as well as Commander Shadowsun has flown into the building. She has her stealth field, so she'll be at a -2 to hit. We'll see what happens. In this round of shooting, both storm surges fired into the Predator that was in the back and deleted it. The Pathfinder team had successfully inflicted 3 marker lights onto it, which allowed the 2 storm surges to team up, take it down. They did fire a little bit into the Razorback and inflicted 2 wounds onto it. But other than that, we are still kind of contesting for this point. We'll see if the Void Lions can come back.
Alright, so Imperial movement phase, I moved the Tech Marine up 6 inches, and then I advanced him 4 inches, and so now he is right next to the tank. He's going to be doing Blessings on the Messiah, try to heal those 2 wounds. I decided to keep the Razorback where it is, just so that he would be able to do that without difficulty. And I decided to move the Knight Valiant out into the open 10 inches, where he is now facing down the 2 Storm Surges who threaten his entire existence. Alright, so Imperium turn. So I moved the Tech Marine up. I did the Blessings of the Messiah. It healed those 2 wounds, so now this Razorback is up to full wounds. The Razorback shot its Storm Bolters at the team over here, but it didn't do any damage, I believe. The last cannons shot at the Storm Surge all the way in the back over here. 1 wound went through, and it shaved off 3 wounds. 4 wounds, sorry. 4 wounds from that one. And then the Knight shot its siege breaker cannons at this team. It killed 3.
So in my movement phase for the Tau, I've left my storm surges right where they were. Their stabilizing anchors have been dropped, so they're getting +1 to their shooting. I moved up my strike team and my Dark Strider, and as well as my Pathfinder team and Shadowsun have all moved up. And we're about to shoot, see what we can accomplish here. It's not looking too good for the Tau Empire, because that Knight is really scary. I'm sweating a lot. Shooting phase, Shadowsun shot into a tank that used to be here and dealt 6 wounds to it. And then subsequently, that tank got taken down by a team effort with the storm surges. They destroyed the tank. It did not explode. It just got vaporized by their rifles, their rail cannons, and the strike team over here fired into the Tech Marine. Even though Dark Strider had directed them to fire at the tank, they were not paying attention and fired into the Tech Marine, inflicting 1 wound. Now it's Imperium's turn. We'll see what that knight can do. I am shaking in my booties.
Alright, so Imperium turn of shooting. I took out 2 Fire Warriors from this squad, and the Knight took off 4 wounds from the Storm Surge in the front. And that's pretty much it for this round of shooting. Alright, so Princeps Samuel moved and charged into Commander Shadowsun and inflicted 4 wounds on her. And now the Knight is locked in close combat, which kind of protects it from being fired upon by these 2 beasts of war.
So currently the Commander Shadowsun model moved back and retreated. She's unable to shoot.
Yeah, I spoke too soon. I was like, oh, I'm locked in combat. I forgot she could definitely just move back.
Yeah, so that allows me to be able to shoot the living hell out of that knight. Hopefully I can take it out, but if not, if that knight is still alive in the next turn, I lose the game. I'm basically left everybody where they are, and that's it. Nothing too crazy. Very few models left on the field. We'll see how this turns out. Top of turn 4, the 2 Storm Surges. After Shadowsun retreated, she, was unable to shoot because of the new 9th edition rule, and the 2 Storm Surges and the strike team fired at the knight and inflicted 16 wounds. That still did not bring the knight down. If in the next turn that knight is still up and he's sitting on that objective, the Imperium wins. So hopefully the greater good doesn't allow that to happen.
Alright, so the knight basically just turned around and he is on the objective. That might change after the Tau shooting phase, but we're going to see what our firing can do. Alright, very exciting shooting phase for Samuel, Princeps Samuel. His turn of firing destroyed one of the Storm Surges. It took off, 9 wounds from him?
Yes, 9 wounds.
9 wounds. So now it's Princeps Samuel is on the objective, and now he's facing off against, the remaining Storm Surge, but he also has Shadowsun and Entourage to deal with, as well as this Fire Warrior team. So yeah, now we're moving to charges. Alright, so in the charge phase, the Knights decided to charge the Fire Warrior team over here, and in the close combat that ensued, the 3 of them were killed, leaving 1 in close combat with the Knight. And now we shall move to the next turn.
Alright, so top of turn 5, the deciding turn. Shadowsun and the Pathfinders with their drones moved forward. We've got Dark Strider who retreated, but he's unable to fire. And the Storm Surge moved up 6 inches, but he's still not within line of sight of the Knight. So right now the only things that can fire at him we've got over here, and whatever happens now will decide the end of the game. Alright guys, so Commander Shadowsun fired her 2 fusion rifles into the Knight and did a whopping 10 damage to him, brought him down pretty far to 2 wounds. Storm Surge, because it uses its smart missile systems, was able to fire and miss every dang shot.
He thought it was a good idea to charge the Knight, and what happened was, so that's what happened. Alright, so bottom of turn 5, and the Knight moved back into position to claim the objective in the middle of the game, or in the middle of the board, and the Knight, the Imperial army wins the game because he is claiming the objective in the middle of the board. The Tau mysteriously retreat.
claims victory over his Tau adversaries, and they run away like cowards. He activates the distress beacon, calling for reinforcements. But suddenly, many life forms pop up on his radar scans. Who is this new adversary that has entered the fray? And are they responsible for the desolation this planet has been left in? Perhaps we'll find out if our heroes can survive.